Today on Tenix Talks, lessons from scaling electric bus fleets.
So you spent many years leading a large bus operator during a time of quite significant change. Can you give us a sense of the scale of the operation and what the environment was like at that time?
Yeah. Started in the bus industry in 2011, a bus company called Tide, who became the second largest player in Norway and also the fourth largest player in Denmark. So when I started, it was 1,400 vehicles. Ended up with 2,300 vehicles. Had a revenue going from 2 billion NOK to 6 billion NOK, and actually won a few tenders in the end. So it will be 7 billion NOK when they start up the two last ones.
And during that time, electrification first started appearing in tenders.
Yeah.
How did operators generally think about what that would mean for day-to-day operations?
I think our common focus at that time, I think that including all the players, was how mature is the battery technology, how mature is the buses. I think if you ask me at the time of 2017-18, what kind of technology will you use? And I was pretty sure that we will use opportunity charging to charge out in the routes during the days. But the rapid change of technology was significant. So I think after 2 years, what do we need opportunity charging for? So depot charging, overnight charging was the new industry standard, and I was a bit surprised of how fast it actually went. But also I think we wanted to adapt to the new technology to the old way of operating the buses. So I think our large focus on the buses itself and on the battery cells also led to not too much focus on how you need to adapt also the operations to electrical buses.
So what actually happened when electric buses hit the depot? What changed? What did the operation look like?
I don't think the main focus in the beginning was the operations itself, because we were so focused on what the technology could help us with. So I think we maybe expected to run the vehicle like a diesel vehicle to make it as simple as possible. And it was so overwhelming, and we needed to learn, of course. In the beginning, it was a lot of manual solution. You were overseeing that you connected every bus to the chargers in a proper way. You wanted to check that they actually was charging, and they did. It was not always that they were charging, so you needed also to have manual control over that. You always try to charge to 100% on every vehicle, because the only thing you wanted to secure was not to run empty, because to have anxiety about the stopping in the route with 50 passengers on board it's not a good situation for the driver. We didn't have good enough digital solutions. We didn't integrate all the systems we have in the bus company. The planning system is the heart of the bus company, and we did manual control from the planning system to the charge management, and yeah.
But what tends to be the moment when operators realize that kind of manual control isn't sustainable?
I think scaling up is important there, because when you have large fleets of electrical buses, the manual operations are more complex, of course. Also because you learned a lot during the first few years that it was manual operations is not very motivating, and you saw that this must be possible to solve digitally in a much better way. And also I think when you do a manual solution, you will always do mistakes, and mistakes and errors is actually having an impact on the passengers in the long run. So you saw actually that the complexity, the scalability needs you to focus more digitally.
So what advice would you then give to boards or management teams that are at the beginning of the electrification journey?
I would say you have to invest in the people that are going to operating the electrical buses, because there is a change going from diesel to electric. It's not only for the drivers, also for a traffic control center, or what is called in different companies. But you need system support, and you also need integration between all the systems. So a good charge management solution, a good fleet management solution, integrated with the planning system, easy tools for the traffic operational center, so they can see live what the state of charge on different vehicles are, so they can actually make the changes before you make an error. And the last maybe advice I will give is to plan for the worst day. Because one thing is running in a bus in 15 degrees when there's no air condition and no heating and it's dry roads, but when you have snowy conditions, you have minus 25 or you have plus 30 degrees and the air condition will run on a high. That's the days that you have to plan for. So plan for the worst day, and the operations will be more easy for all the other days.
How can a charge management system help you to prepare for the worst day?
I think the most important thing is to integrate with all the other systems you have in your company. I think the planning systems is the heart of every bus company. And if you can integrate the charge management system with your planning system and all the other operating systems you will have one picture of the whole. That will help you save money on charging. It will help you save money on grid. It will help you save money on reparations or on the errors or the penalties you have. And it will also make the entire operations more smooth, so you could do it with less people in your organization.
So looking at the charge management solutions available in the market today, what capabilities make the biggest impact for operators?
Look for a supplier that can have everything in one package, because you need smart systems. You need systems that understands your operations and take that into charging, that optimize the price of the charging, optimize the grid utilization, and also that optimize the quality of your operation. So you need the really smart providers of charge management solutions. And I've got to say to you, I think Tenix is one of the players in the industry that have the most in the package so far. And I'm quite impressed with how much you have managed to develop at an early stage.
It's great to hear. So when those charge management capabilities are delivered well, what impact does that have on the operators?
It makes the entire operations much more smoother. And they are more confident of making good quality, and also to be competitive in the next tender because they know how to do it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.